Regardless of the circumstances we face in life, there's something that we always need to do, and that is wholly follow the Lord. W-H-O-L-L-Y. Completely follow the Lord. This week we're going to be looking at a great example from the Old Testament of an individual who completely, wholly followed the Lord. His name is Caleb. I want you to think about him in Joshua chapter 14. They're coming toward the end of the conquest of Canaan, and Caleb has something to say to Joshua, the leader. He says to him, he remembers in verse 8, "You remember what Moses said concerning you and me in Kadesh Barnea." Verse number 7, "I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought back word to him as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brethren who went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord." I want you to think about that. If you remember the story from Numbers 13 and 14, Joshua and Caleb were the only two spies. Of 12 spies, they were the only two that came back with a good report. The others came back and said, "Oh, it's a great land, and man, it's wonderful," and all that, except there are giants in the land. And matter of fact, in chapter 13, Numbers 13, verse 33, they say, we're like grasshoppers in their sight and in our own sight. We're just the little guys. We can't take this land. But I want you to notice one of the speeches from Caleb. Verse number 30 of chapter 13 of Numbers. "Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, 'Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it.' But to the men who had gone up with him, 'We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger.' And the children of Israel gave a bad report." But I want you to see, while they're giving a bad report, here is Caleb saying, "No, we can do it." And Caleb believed it for this reason. He believed that God would bless them and keep His promises just as He had made them. And nothing's changed. In Joshua 14, he's 85 years old. And he says, "All these years I've wholly followed the Lord. I trusted Him then, and I trust Him now." That needs to characterize our life. Join us again tomorrow.